Once again, a warm welcome to all of my dear little children. Children, in today's class, we are going to revise the topics that are left from our literature book. Right? So, children, in your literature, from the literature part, we have two proses and one poem. That are there in our annual syllabus. That is, the two proses are Board Games of India and Rain Making, right? And the poem is Two Little Kittens. So you have to learn two prose and one poem. Yesterday we have already revised one prose, that is Board Games of India. So today is the turn to revise the left two, the other two, that is one prose, Rain Making, and the other one poem, Two Little Kittens. So quickly just let's start the revision, and slowly and steadily I will also tell you the tips and tricks that will help you out for your annual exam, right? So just pay attention. Let me just share the screen with all my dear students. So here let us then start with the poem first. Okay, so we have read the poem of Two Little Kittens, right children? What was the poem about? The poem was about the two little kittens, right? And they were fighting on something. And how was the day? It was a scary night, right? It was a frosty night, not scary, but it was a frosty night. It was very cold, very chill outside, and these two little kittens, they began fighting, and what they landed up to, we all know about it, right? So quickly just we will revise the poem, okay? Two little kittens one stormy night began to quarrel and then to fight. One had a mouse, the other had none, and that's the way the quarrel began. I'll have that mouse, said the biggest cat. You'll have that mouse? We'll see about that. I'll have that mouse, said the eldest one. You shan't have the mouse, said the little one. I told you before, 'twas a stormy night when these two little kittens began to fight. The old woman seized her sweeping broom and swept the two little kittens right off the room. The ground was covered with frost and snow, and the two little kittens had nowhere to go. So they let them down on the mat on the door while the old woman finished sweeping the floor. Then they crept in as quiet as mice, all wet with the snow and cold as ice. For they found it was better that stormy night to lie down and sleep than to quarrel and fight, right? So quarreling doesn't help anyone. We should learn to live together, to live in peace, and to have a good friendship with each other, right? So children, now you will say that ma'am ये क्या poem आएगी? MCQ आपने कहा है, बिल्कुल पोएम आएगी आपको लिखने के लिए. Now how you are going to get it? Like complete the lines of the poem. So आपको ये poem का कहीं से भी कोई भी आपको जो आप पैराज देख रहे हैं, stanzas, not paras, in fact they are called as stanzas in the poem. So you can get any of these stanza, either the first stanza or the second one, the third stanza. So like for an example, if you get this stanza, like two little kittens, one stormy dash to quarrel and then to dash. Okay, one had a dash, the other had none, and that's the way the dash began. So you will get like this. आपको blanks रहेगा और आपको blank को fill करना होगा, right? So this way you will get this particular poem in your exam. So please once again just nicely go through it. Already in notebook I have given one stanza as complete the lines of the poem, right? So you will get that the same pattern will be you will get in your annual exam, right? Now let's just quickly revise the book exercise. So the two little kittens began to fight over a dash. So what do you have to write? A mouse. The elder kitten said that it wanted a dash. So what did the elder kitten want? The elder kitten wanted a mouse or the mouse, right? Okay. So the old woman swept dash. So swept both of them out of the house, right? So this we have learned in the book exercise. Now let's then start revising the notebook work. Okay. Now notebook exercise. Word meaning. First we are going to revise. Okay children, what is the meaning of frost? The meaning of frost is thin layer of ice formed on the ground due to cold, right? What is the meaning of crept? Crept means crawled slowly and quietly so as not to be noticed. Let them down means lay down on their own, right? So you will get the word meanings for sure children. So do learn the meanings with the words, okay? Now complete the lines of the poem. As I told you children that you will get a stanza and there will be some words which will be missing in the poem in that stanza. So you have to complete the stanza. And how you are going to do it? Like this is one of the example. The ground was covered with a dash. So the ground was covered with frost and snow, and the two little dash had nowhere to go means the kittens had nowhere to go. So they let them down on the mat at the floor while the old woman finished sweeping the floor. Right children? Now question answers. So you will get question answers for sure children. Do not omit the question answers. Again I am repeating children, do not omit question answers. Surely you will get question answers in your exam. So what kind of night was it? It was a stormy night. Describe the ground outside the house. The ground outside was covered with frost and snow. In what condition were the kittens when they crept back into the house? The kittens were all wet with snow and as cold as ice when they crept back into the house. What did the two little kittens learn that night? The two little kittens learned that it was better to lie down and sleep than to quarrel on stormy night. Right children? So this we are done with the poem. Now it's time for the word, for the next prose, right? So that is rain making, right? So in this chapter children, this we know this story, right? We have read the story written by Shankar and he is in fact telling about his old time, his childhood time when he memorized one of remember one of his memories as a childhood, and he has described about the incident that once he played a prank with his grandfather and what was the result of it, right? So I'll just in short I will try to just recap the story children. So there was a boy whose name was Raja, and Raja was a naughty boy, right? And he lived with his grandfather and grandmother. So in the evening time, grandfather, it rained actually, okay? So it rained that day, and because of the rain, the leaves of the trees and of the plants, they were full of raindrops. So as grandfather went to pick up the flowers from the jasmine bush, so Raja came and he shook the jasmine bush very nicely, very hard, and what happened? The result was कि जितनी भी raindrops थे leaves में वो सब shower की तरह नीचे आ गए, and it felt like it rained, and they got almost all complete wet. So grandfather got really very angry, and he said that come here Raja, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to once if I catch you. So Raja was knowing it that अगर वो grandfather के हाथ में अभी आ गया तब तो grandfather से उसकी पिटाई होगी, क्योंकि इस समय grandfather बहुत नाराज हैं, right? So then he just what he did, उसने अपने आप को छुपा लिया, right? He went to the paddy fields, right? And hid himself. And then grandfather shouted that I will teach you a lesson when you are back. So when it was almost all going to get evening, so he still was hiding under in the paddy fields, and he thought that अब तो अंधेरा हो रहा है तो मुझे जगह चेंज करनी पड़ेगी. So he came to the cow shed and he took shelter in the loft. What is loft, children? Roof के नीचे वाला जो room होता है उसे loft कहते हैं. It is generally used as a storage room, right? And उसके बाद जब अंधेरा हो गया तो grandmother cried out that where is the little one? So grandfather ने कहा कि अरे वो घर पर ही होगा. Grandmother ने कहा नहीं है. And that's how the whole fuss created. सब ढूंढने लग गए, सब लोग परेशान हो गए. बहुत सारे नेबर्स भी आ गए ग्रैंडमदर को सिंपैथाइज करने के लिए, और ग्रैंडफादर इससे नाराज हो गए क्योंकि वो जो नेबर्स थे वो एक्चुअली मदद करने नहीं आए थे, राजा को ढूंढने के लिए नहीं आए थे. दे वर जस्ट सिंपैथाइजिंग ग्रैंडमदर. सो ग्रैंडफादर डिड नॉट लाइक इट एंड ही वाज जस्ट नॉट रेडी टू give up. So when after some time when uncle came there and he got to know that what actually has happened and what is this fuss all about, so uncle guessed it that कि राजा कहाँ छुपा होगा. So he went there to the loft, to the cow shed, and he called Raja. Okay, please boy come out. So राजा निकल कर आया और तब grandfather कहाँ पर चले गए? वो straight away वरांडा से होकर गॉड के पास प्रेयर रूम में चले गए और गॉड से उन्होंने प्रे करना शुरू कर दिया कि गॉड गिव मी माई चाइल्ड बैक. अभी के अभी आप मुझे मेरा बच्चा वापस कर दो. आई कैन नॉट वेट, आई वॉन्ट हिम नाउ. सो अंकल जब ग्रैंडफादर के पास राजा को लेकर आए, जैसे ही ग्रैंडफादर ने आंखें खोली तो क्या देखा कि राजा उनके सामने खड़ा, और उनको लगा कि भगवान ने गॉड ने उनकी प्रेयर सुनी. राइट. सो इट वाज अ नाइस स्टोरी दैट वाज रिटन बाय केशव शंकर पिल्लई. नाउ लेट्स देन रिवाइज द बुक एक्सरसाइजेस. सो correct the option, choose the correct option. Grandfather said that he would teach Raja a lesson because grandfather was angry with Raja. Grandmother was angry with grandfather because what was the reason why grandmother was angry? Because he had said that he would beat Raja, right? Now next question is, the person who guessed where Raja was hiding was, who was the person who guessed where Raja was hiding? Uncle, right? Now next one, here are some events that occurred in the story. Rearrange the events in the order they occurred, right? So you can just do this. Okay, I'm not going to once again repeat the same thing, so you can do this on your own. Sure. Now next one, see this question, WH words, WH questions. So where do we use such questions? These are question words, children. When is used for related to time, when we are saying something about time, कि कहाँ कब हुआ, so then we say when. What कहाँ use होता है? To get information about something. What happened? What are you doing? Which is used for a choice, regarding a choice. Which one do you want? Do you want a red one or blue, right? So who is used for a person? Who are you? Who is going to take my luggage, right? Like this. How is used in regarding to the manner of the action, like कैसे हुआ, how you can make a sandwich, or how we can go there, right? So these are some of the examples. Please learn it. Okay, and this one, see, we have framed some questions also, like the answers were given and then we made the questions out of it. Okay, and this one, yeah, using punctuations, children. So you have been doing it from class 1, I think. So it's quite easy for you. You know where to put full stop and question mark. Full stops are put when we give a statement, and question marks are used when we are asking something. When the sentence is asking something, it's an interrogative sentence, then we put a question mark. And when the sentence is assertive sentence, imperative sentence, then we put a full stop. Like in this case, I know where the party will take place. So here I'm informing something. I'm not asking something. The sentence is not asking. The sentence is informing, giving information, stating something. So we'll put full stop. And the second sentence, children, where will the party take place? So here the sentence is asking something, right? So that's why it's an interrogative question, a sentence, and we are going to put a question mark at the end, right? Now, next one, see children, this one, please do not omit this, idioms. Okay, you will definitely get the idioms in your exam. So, please do not miss this part. Okay, ये इनको learn कर लेना, इनमें से ही आपको exam में आएगा, तो ये learn कर लेंगे, ये 5 idioms. Okay, so what are they? Like keep your fingers crossed. So, what is the meaning of keep your fingers crossed? Means to wish someone for a good luck. And see eye to eye means to agree with someone about something. कि मैं agree करता हूँ उसके साथ, right? Point the finger means to blame on someone for some reason, right? And keep an eye on means to take care of someone, right? Lend a hand means to help someone do something, right? So like here, see, we have seen some examples how to use these idioms in the sentences. Like Rain is very naughty. He always point the finger at him whenever someone does any mischief. Our coach is selecting player from the cricket team today. I will keep my fingers crossed for wishing good luck. When my parents go out, they ask my aunt to keep an eye on me, to take care of, right? If you are free, please lend me a hand, means to help someone. Farhan is a good friend and we see eye to eye on most things. Means we have a similar, we keep similar thoughts, right? We agree to similar things, right? So this is how you will get the book exercises in your exam. Now it's time for the notebook exercise. Okay, so rain making notebook exercise. These are the new words, children. I already told you how you are going to get the new words. आपको complete the spelling form में आएगा. So please learn these words like naughty, jasmine, raindrop, sandalwood, strength, soaked, paddy field, cowshed, shelter, veranda, weeping, courtyard, neighbors, sympathize, prayer, silent, guest, hugged, direction and relatives, right? Now next comes the turn for word meaning. So the first word is jasmine. What is the meaning, children? A white flower with a lovely scent. What is the meaning of soaked? Became wet. Loft means a room directly below the roof of a building. Teach me a lesson means punish me. To punish something. Strong will means strong minded. Okay. Neighbors means people living next door. And paddy field means a field in which rice is grown. Right? Now fill in the blanks. The leaves of the tree were full of raindrops. Grandfather turned on me with an angry look. Raja went to the cowshed and took shelter in the loft. Grandfather started walking up and down the courtyard. Grandfather had just finished his prayer. Now, who said to whom, children? So, there are only 3 who said to whom. इनमें से तो definitely आपको कोई तीनों ही आ सकता है या कोई 2 तो जरूर आएगा, ठीक है? Where is the little one? Who said this, children? Grandmother said this to grandfather. She asked this to grandfather. You look for him in the house. Who said this, children? Grandfather said to grandmother. He replied, right? Give me my child, I want him now, I cannot wait. And it was said by grandfather, he was while doing the prayer. So grandfather prayed to the God, right? Now make sentence, children, you can just revise it on your own. I'm not again repeating the same, children. Now question answers. How did Raja make it rain? Raja shook the sandalwood tree with all his strength. The leaves were full of raindrops which fell in a shower, making it look like Raja had made it rain. Where did Raja hide first? Raja first hid in the paddy field. Why did Raja change his hiding place? Where did he go? When it became dark in the evening, Raja changed his hiding place. He hid in the loft of the cowshed next to the house, right? Now, what were the neighbors doing, children? The neighbors were offering, just a second. Yeah. So, what were the neighbors doing? The neighbors were offering their sympathy to Raja's grandmother, right? Why did grandfather get angry with them? Grandfather got angry because the neighbors had come for sympathize instead of searching him out, right? Now, next one. Why did grandfather believe that God had heard his prayer? So, grandfather prayed to God to help him and give him back his grandson. When he opened his eyes, he saw Raja in front of him. That is why he felt that God has heard his prayer. Right, children? So, please do learn it nicely, children, and do not, do not escape anything. Keep on practicing the things that I'm telling you, children. So, we have completed the revision of literature today, and in our next class then we will cover the topics from grammar. And soon, children, मैं एक चीज़ और आपको बतानी चाह रही हूँ. नेक्स्ट वीक में मंडे को और ट्यूसडे को मैं आपको 2 इम्पोर्टेंट वर्कशीट्स दूंगी. एक वर्कशीट आपका रहेगा लिटरेचर का, जिसको मैंने अभी रिवाइज कराया, उससे रिलेटेड मैं क्वेश्चंस दूंगी, तो वो आप मुझे सॉल्व करके दिखाएंगे. एंड दूसरी जो आपको वर्कशीट मिलेगी वो ग्रामर की रहेगी, सो उसे आप सॉल्व करेंगे. देखते हैं आप कितना अच्छे से कर पाते हैं. ठीक है? फॉर दैट यू हैव टू learn everything nicely. Those who are able to learn nicely, those who have really worked hard, they will score very nice, right? So see you again in our next class. Till then, take care, keep learning, keep studying, and simply just keep smiling.